Hello everyone, we're back on Anno 2070, and what a great day it is. We're already under attack by pirates. I mean, that was inevitable. Let's get this ship back. Come on, quickly, Pioneer. Back to our own soil, our own seas. If you do that, we might be able to escape the pirates with our turrets and support from other ships. You're probably not going to make it, though. Previously, we set up several ports, along with a major colony here, who is unfortunately extremely upset with me because I didn't have any food for them, and they're still not apparently satisfied, but it's slowly going up. The pirates are still here. They're a big threat, a dilemma to everything we stand for. This trade route is in possibly the worst place it could be. It goes right past the pirates. I'm looking for, hopefully, to fix that. They don't seem to be interested in attacking anyone but me. I can't help but notice that, which is really annoying. But we'll fix the situation. There is some good news, however, some really bright
Command
news.
ship ready to go.
We can rebuild the command ship.
Awaiting your order. Command
But
ship
other
ready.
than that,
Command ship ready.
We can actually set up trade routes between
that fight a little while ago.
Between different factions.
You should have seen it.
So, for example, I can set up a trade route between me and SoCal, and he will actually buy steel and coal and stuff. So that's really good. I can sell my excess steel to him and make some money. And I think we're going to need to start doing that if we're going to support a large military, which we desperately need because these assholes aren't going anywhere. But to do that, we need to set up a military ship. Not a military ship. We need to set up another cargo vessel, and we just don't have the money for it right now. Probably because I just bought this thing. I mean, I did have the money until then, but without a military ship... Oh, well, we do have that, but this is kind of a patrol ship. It's useful. It's got a nice utility to it. It can carry stuff and colonize, which we do need to continue to do because over here, we need this place to be set up. And to finalize this setup, we're going to need to bring in more building supplies. And we should probably do that now, in the meantime, while we're waiting for our money to build back up to set up the trade routes.
I know you won't forget my request.
At least 1,500 in order to get the trade route. And we also have this guy's quest. We need to find the island marked in the mini-map. And for each island to search, I'm going to need building tools and all this stuff. We need to find salvage, but we're not going to do that, I don't think. Unfortunately, I'm going to abandon your quest.
But what shall I do now?
Listen, I'm sorry, Lester, but I can't invest in it right now. The island you want me to go to is in pirate territory, and I just can't deal with it. I don't have the manpower, I don't have the capability of doing it. As soon as I go over there, they'll immediately engage me. Let's get in some supplies. We haven't used any steel yet on the island, so we should probably bring this over instead. There we go. Bring as much as we possibly can. I think 40 is the maximum. Let's get this ship over here. Continue our colonization. We also need to bring some weapons over in a shipment eventually. We almost have enough for another trade ship, but I'm not going to build it right away. We need to have some money left over. The Sea Dream is really useful, but one ship isn't going to be able to defend my trade routes, unfortunately. And without trade, we're not with SoCal, I don't think we're going to be able to build the forces to kill SoCal. So we got to keep that in mind.
Go with the times.
The city is actually going quite well. We're getting a lot of high-level employees. The problem is their food needs are not being satisfied. Not nearly enough. And we aren't producing enough food either to accommodate the new population. We're actually we're falling pretty vastly behind on the food production. We should build another convenience food factory. In fact, we need to get more production down here. Get you set up like that. There we go. More convenience food. It's always a good thing.
I never thought my career would skyrocket like this.
I should at least solve their hunger needs. And they need participation in government as well, which we don't have yet. We don't actually really have
interested in a good deal?
Oh, Trenchcoat's here. What does he have for... I know I don't really trade with Trenchcoat a lot, but also, what was that? I opened the mini-map and it bugged out. I know I don't trade with Trenchcoat a lot, and he gets pissy, and I kind of give him a hard time over it. But he might actually have something useful. Like, for once. He might actually have a useful purpose. I don't know where he is, though. He's not appearing on the map. Maybe we have to manually trade with him. Or maybe he's, like, about to enter the sector. He's not here yet. But yeah. Trade routes are going underway. Convenience food, we need to keep getting that up as quickly as possible to accommodate for a new population. We're actually advancing.
I never thought my career would skyrocket like this.
They need participation now. And participation, basically, we need to establish our government. Not to say that we didn't have a government before. We did, but it wasn't as great. Basically, all the rich people want to be involved in the government now. They want to have their money matter. It's quite an unfortunate situation, but my despotism is about to falter. I know. It's a sad day. But it was a day that was inevitably coming.
Construction opportunities expanded.
So we're going to have to consider that. Also, we got expanded construction opportunities. Oh, we unlocked the center. So this is where I think this is the participation, the financial center, where they manage all of our finances and all that good stuff, all the great stuff everyone loves to do. Unfortunately, we didn't really design the city to have these things. It's such a big structure. I mean, I don't know where I'm gonna put it. I mean, I guess I could put it here. I could build it sideways here. It'll be off balance, but I could, and that would cover some portion, but
registering conclusion of peace between neighbors.
Wouldn't really cover enough. I mean, that's the ultimate issue, I suppose. It wouldn't cover enough. Yeah, I could put it like here, for example, and like change the layout of the streets. That's really expensive if I were to do that. But I could do it, and I think that's what I'm going to do. It also wouldn't really... Actually, it doesn't make much sense having this huge building here. Like a giant financial center as soon as you enter the city. But it does cover a wider range of people. I could get rid of one of the hospitals too, I suppose. But also not really an advantageous system. Do they still need gambling? I'm pretty sure they do at this point. Yeah, they still need gambling. We can't get rid of the gambling center. They still need it, unfortunately. They need everything from the lower tiers, so that's not an option.
Military conflict between neighbors ended.
Yeah. We can't put it there. Oh, great. I'm sure we'll find a place for it. It's probably going to go right there, to be perfectly honest with you, because that covers a much wider range of places. But most of our people are actually concentrated in... We're going to have to build multiple of these, aren't we? How expensive are they? You know, they're pretty expensive. We might have to, like, build multiple. Like, one on each side of the city, maybe. Like, we can cover a decent portion of the population. But I don't think we can cover all of them by building it here. Like, you see how the back there gets some trouble. We could build one on each side. Maybe like that. One there. And then, like, one there. For, like, a super double bonus. I mean, that's a theoretical possibility.
Production breakdown.
But that would also wipe out a lot of the actual buildings, which is a big issue. We don't really want to wipe out that many buildings. I think I'm going to place one here at the front, which will, you know, will demolish some of the larger housing areas, but will cover the front half and any continued expansion in that direction. And I'll place one back here to cover the back half. Slightly modify the roads. It should work out. Our ship's arrived here now. We do need to rename this. The thing is, I don't know what to rename it. I mean, all the good names we've already come up with. The Valiance. The Valiance is here. Yeah, it didn't save. Valiance. Okay, Valiance. Come back over here. We need to give our ships a call sign too, but I think we're going to wait off on that until we actually establish our government. we kind of, how I imagine it, the reason that this place doesn't have a name yet, other than general incompetence by my part to not name it something cool or awesome, like Corporatonia, for example, is that this is actually a giant corporation. So we're still just known as the Global Trust at this point. But once we establish a government bureau, we'll actually be a country. And with a country, we're going to need to name our ships and stuff. I suppose actually for right now, you can almost consider it like city-states. Like we have Moneybags, the city-state of Moneybags, the independent state of the real Farmville. And they're almost like kind of like it's like Greece almost, like ancient Greece, where each place was self-sufficient and they had their own trades, but they weren't reliant on each other, except during times of war where they would unify. But all that's going to change soon. Soon we'll be a combined nation, and with being a combined nation, we're going to need a name. Whatever that name is, I still have no idea. I've never been good at naming things. It's just something I'm not really good at. I might call it something stupid. I might just call it Dave. Dave the Civilization. Yeah, okay. I think that will be our official name. This is now Dave the Civilization. Bob. Bobonia. Yeah, maybe Bobonia. That might work. The BBF. The BNF. The Bobonian Naval Forces. Not to be mistaken for the British Naval Forces or anything. No, never. This is the Bobonian Naval Forces. But, you know, that's still a ways off. Actually, we could set it up right now. Here we go. Let's do it. We are now Bobonia. BNF. BNF. Sea Dreams. There we go. Oh, we didn't save again. God damn it. BNF. Capital BNF. Sea Dreams. Where is my larger... Where's the Valiance at? I don't see it. It's just kind of gone. Oh, there it is. And you are the BNF Valiance. BNF. BNF Alliance. I mean, that also sounds pretty cool. But that's not what we're going for. It's the BNF Valiance. BNF dash Valiance or BNF colon? I think a dash looks really cool. BNF Valiance. There we go. We'll change that to a dash as well because, you know, there's just something more military-like about that. So we are now Bobonia, named after the most generic name I could think of. And we're going with that. Why Bobonia, other than me not being able to think of it lore-wise? It's because we're a corporation, and corporations really don't fucking care what they're called. They only care about money. It's the only thing that matters to them. So they could be called shitface, and they wouldn't care. As long as it's making them money, it's fine. And the thing is, Bobonia is so generic that it applies to so many people that no one complains. So it just works great, and it's so bland. It's lovely. We brought some goods to this island. We haven't actually been doing anything in this video so far, just kind of faffing about. But, I don't know, maybe we needed some faffing about after all the serious war effort we went through earlier. Because, yeah, that was not a really fun thing. We lost a lot of ships, and a lot of money. So we could use a decent break or two here and there, just to do small things. But, of course, there is no such thing as a break in business, so we have to move on. We have to keep building. And I think this is the first thing we're going to do today. We're going to build and set up the farms. Particularly the truffle farms here. So that we can get our luxury meals going. Damn, those truffle... Is that the radius a truffle farm can cover? By any chance? Because that's... Okay, no, okay. That wasn't a truffle farm, that was something else. I was going to say, because that was huge.
Warning. Decreased fertility due to pollution.
I really don't get how we get decreased fertility on it by placing things for plants. That is just a bit odd to me. I'm going to continue that design that we had because why not? I mean, I still don't know if it works, but it certainly looks nice. So, I say we're continuing it. Continue the trend.
Game saved.